Alright, cross-examination then. The evening of the 17th of February. Let's press everything, see what we can learn. It was 6 days ago at about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I suddenly got stabbed in the back, yeah. I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was awful. Still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. What's she painting, though? That's what I want to know. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with you awakening and should now be forgotten. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement. Well, you know, no, don't do that. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoken my supper. I'm getting lost in the thing. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
Hold it!
What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend. What's it called? Yes. It's the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Schlomes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene on the Underground. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why, then, would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End? Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. I can appreciate that, yeah. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes. It seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. If she is trying to hide why she was there that evening, it must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould my pleasure, sire. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
Hold it!
How'd you know? A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Van Sykes? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining for the locality, at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. I mean, I see his point. But why is he bringing it up? It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. I would have expected Grubb's Grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. So the only thing I can think of is he's telling him shut up. Shut up, you never went there, did you? So what happened there probably with him or something else? In the grander story, there's something else going on there. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Well, I mean, you go further north in the UK, the water does get better, in terms of taste at least. In terms of like whether or not you can drink it from the tap in the UK, the entire country is fine. Fantastic water. It's just better the further north you go because it's softer water. That's literally the only reason. Scotland water. Ooh, fantastic. Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment. Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he died at a place he wouldn't normally. It does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago was slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. I mean, clearly we must have something. Do we? That could explain those actions. I'm sure I heard mention of something somewhere, but I don't think we got evidence of it. So not. I'm gonna go with not at the moment. I wish we did, but sadly, I can't think of anything at the moment. If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamspeare went there, we must present it to the court. Yeah, but genuinely can't think of anything at the moment, so... Yes, absolutely. If that is all on this matter, Counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. I was thinking, like, wasn't it in the letter? But we don't have the letter, do we? We only have part of it, so we need it from Miss Green. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Maybe we'll get it from this. Maybe we get evidence submitted to the court here.
Hold it!
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. It was nothing, really. It's not worth mentioning. If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Yeah, this is what we need, isn't it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan. Hello?
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Mr. Shamspeare, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be, that is the question. Pray forgive me, the great bard's words springeth from within me with near fault. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Wouldn't put it past you. Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sir, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. And you have the picture. Miss Green? Me? My lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before, containing the note, do you have it upon your person? I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Miss Green's card, there we go, has been entered into the court record. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamspeare and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Right. Yeah. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. Right, now we got that. Let's have a look here. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Yet strangely, like it's torn in bits. It's not just random, it's like... Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. So many dots. Ah! What is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... Are you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Narahoda? Exactly. That's it. Try to match them up. They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card. The details of Miss Green's card have been updated. A note in an envelope that seems to have been ripped open rather roughly. The envelope fits perfectly with a torn off piece found at the scene of the crime. Torn off end of envelope has been updated. Fits perfectly with an envelope in Miss Green's possession. Right. Are we not gonna read it? Like, are we not gonna look inside? Okay. But I want to see what's inside it. Because I feel that's relevant to... I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speak. I had bespoken my supper. So the only thing I can think of, like, we need to get back to that and present evidence, because this is the evidence I want. But I need to look inside it. Because I'm sure it was the slug and salad was the place mentioned in the envelope on the card, so I want to see about presenting that now we've got it. We just need to get back to where we were. Present evidence. Mr. Shamspeare. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize? For a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest. Very well. I will present to the court the evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely... It's gotta be that.
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord. Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, thank you. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare? Well... Excuse me, can I say something? No, yes, Miss Green. That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well then, you may amend your testimony. Alright. To include details about the peculiar note. This note was delivered to me at my address. Has nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. Ah. Now we present the other end, don't we? Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamspeare wonderfully there. It worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. We know what we're going to go after. It was 6 days ago at about 5 p.m. I was walking at... No, number five, the one you updated. Note here was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. Then how do you explain this?
Objection!
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn-off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspeare's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Oh, well, Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad, Umbriar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green. What did I do? As this torn-off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist, after all. There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? Thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me? It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green? Yes? Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yes, I know. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. Witness testimony. The anomaly of the note. It's just ominous. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn-off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, would appear that your testimony was... A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Even Van Zyke seems to be on our side now. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. That's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Alright, let's press and everything, see what we can get. The anomaly of the note. Because right now, the way stuff's worded, I'm not picking up on anything I can attack. So I need to open up a hole somewhere. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. Okay. And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbour, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So it is true I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end my curiosity was not satiated. On the day writ therein I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad and nobody came, alright.
Hold it!
So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, sire. 'Tis as thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered? In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all? I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord, no. 'Tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. and all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire, flies. Good lord. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a midsummer night's dream come to taunt me? I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? No. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow I did not see the note had vanished. When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between you outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsumi's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in the interval. Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. And yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding. Isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? Oh. You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Van Zykes getting at? It's always odd when he seems to be on our side. It's like, what are you up to? Why? I do not know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I?
Hold it!
I got some idea, but it seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings.
Objection!
Are you on our side or not now? But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any future pursuits of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though? To do the poison on the pipe, yeah. Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We're close now. I can feel it. I'm really feeling it. We're so close to a breakthrough.